Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Money Shift YouTube channel. I'm your host, Thanasi, and here we are with another Maverick file. And in today's Maverick file, we're going to talk about the Lariat Luxury Package Ford Copilot 360 program. Now, what's included in the Ford Copilot 360 program is as follows. You get the Bliss system with cross-traffic alert. You also get lane keeping system, which is a lane keeping aid, lane keeping alert, and driver alert system. Now included in the Lariat Luxury Package, you also get adaptive cruise with stop and go. That's this radar box here on the front. You also get evasive steering, and you get rear parking sensors, which rounds out the sort of suite of driver assistant features that you get with this system. Now, the first one we're going to sort of talk about is this cross-traffic alert system. Now, what I want you to do is keep attention to both screens. That instrument panel is going to alert you that a vehicle is coming, and the nav screen is actually going to tell you from which side. So as the beep goes, you're definitely alerted that something is up, which is great. The system works remarkably well, as does the blind spot indicator system. A light illuminates when a car is in your blind spot, and it blinks if you have a hazard enabled that is going in that direction. So in this instance, it would be, I attempted to make a lane change to the left, but there was a car in my blind spot, so the vehicle warns you about it. Now, what I will say is there's no noise, just light, but the light is bright enough and visible in all conditions that make it really easy to tell if there's a vehicle in your blind spot. Now, the third feature we're going to talk about is the adaptive cruise control with stop and go. Now, the stop and go is very important. A lot of cars have adaptive cruise control, and for folks that don't know what that really means that this car monitors the distance in front of it, and regardless of the speed that you have on your cruise control, keeps you at a predetermined distance between two vehicles. So if you have your cruise control set to 80, but the car in front of you is going 70, your car is going to be going 70. But where the Lariat Lux takes it to the next level is this works in stop and go scenarios. Oftentimes, adaptive cruise in other vehicles only works at speeds above 25 miles an hour, but that is not the case for the Ford Maverick. It is enabled right now, and we're going sub 10 miles an hour, and it is remarkably helpful at really just taking away some of the annoyance of a morning commute that is laden with traffic. If you can just let the car do the throttle and brake applications in this sort of environment, it really does reduce some of that stress. It allows you to tune into that podcast, tune into that music, tune into that news, and you just sort of don't have to worry. Now, obviously, you got to be paying attention, because if someone tries to cut you off with an aggressive lane maneuver, or maybe someone's going from all the way to the left, all the way to the right, and doing something a little bit dangerous, you really got to monitor that and be on top of it. But this system works remarkably well at low speeds. Something to note, though, is that if this car in front of me stops, if it comes to a halt, 0 miles or kilometers per hour, you need to press the OK button on the steering wheel in order to get back going. This car will say press OK when ready, and once you hit that OK button, it'll fire off again. So you do want to be quick with that button, or else you're going to have folks behind you beeping because they don't understand why you're just stopped in the middle of the road for no reason. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, what I will say here is that the system does take a lot longer to warn you about not having your hands on the steering wheel in this sort of traffic-like situation. But as always, guys, you should be aware and ready to make any sort of steering or acceleration or braking changes at all times. This car is not driving itself here, okay? So you still need to be attentive and behind the wheel. This is just a radar-based system. This is not anything more advanced. This isn't Ford's Blue Cruise, and as a result, you really need to pay attention. So watch here as we come to a stop, as the Hyundai in front of us gets going, whenever that will be, we really need to press the OK button in order to get back going. So I press the button there, and we're off again, which is great. This system works just fine. I am thankful that this is included in the Maverick because, again, it reduces a lot of stress of the morning commute if you don't have to handle the sort of gas brake in the traffic-like section. But as we get up to speed, I want to touch on the lane keeping system. Now, I've seen a lot on the forums, on the different Facebook pages, that folks say that this Lariat luxury package drives itself. Now, guys, I need to make this abundantly clear. that is not the case. All right. You still need to pay attention as you are driving. And while the system has adaptive cruise control, which uses a Ford Raptor to let you know when there's a vehicle in front of you, which is cool. I actually think that's hilarious that it's a Raptor. I would have liked for it to be a Maverick, but it's a Raptor. Anyway, here we are. While the system does help you, while the system does actively steer the vehicle, it does not do so with a degree of confidence that would allow me to sort of say that this drives itself. This isn't even as good as a Tesla Autopilot or Ford Blue Cruise system, never mind a conventional system that you would get in a Maverick XL or XLT. Now, what you'll notice is as we switch lanes there, it deactivates and then sort of reactivates accordingly, which is really nice. I like that that system is seamless. You don't have to enable or disable it. It just happens on its own. The adaptive cruise control system works remarkably well at speeds here, and you'll see I have my speed set to 78, but as we approach this car in front, we slow down gradually. This is not something that happens all of a sudden. This is not a heavy braking moment. This isn't 2005 levels of adaptive cruise control. You come to a gradual decline until you get to that vehicle in front. Now, obviously, that changes if a car juts in front of you, but if you're just coming along to traffic like I was there, you'll notice that that's not the case. All right, let's talk lane keep, folks, because I want to fully address what I was talking about when I'm saying the car doesn't drive itself. So while I have my hands on this steering wheel and this Ford Maverick is making this turn for me and staying in the center of the lane, this is the extent of this car's ability. If that turn was to have a steeper radius, or if it was to be a little bit faster, the car would not be able to do it. And what you'll notice is after the turn, it sort of bobbles a bit. It isn't able to sort of connect the turn back to the straightaway. The car keeps turning for a little bit and then bobs right back. And that's because this is a very basic system. So if you initiate the turn, yes, it does a good job at holding you in that lane, holding you in the center of that lane and holding the turn. But once you go out of the turn, the car bobs in the same direction of the turn before bucking back to the center. That is not safe, and that is something folks need to be aware of. This is not a system that allows you to, quote, drive itself, like I hear a lot, okay? This isn't a Tesla Autopilot system. This isn't a Ford Blue Cruise system, a Chevy Super Cruise system. This is just a more advanced basic cruise control. So while it helps take some of the stress off as you're driving or doing long road trips, these systems do a great job at keeping you fresh, keeping you more in tune, allowing you to sort of drive a little bit longer. They are not substitutes for you paying attention while you are driving. I need to make that abundantly clear. I love both of these systems. The fact that you can have this lane keep on without cruise control on is really nice, because not a lot of folks like regular or adaptive cruise control, but you can still have the advantage of this steering system without having cruise control enabled. That's great, but it is not a system that makes the Maverick drive itself, okay? I know I said that a bunch of times, but I need to make that abundantly clear. So as we go back to the exterior of the Maverick, let's give a final summary of this system. The adaptive cruise control works remarkably well. The lane keep system works remarkably well. The blind spot indicator is clear. I wish it made a noise, but it works remarkably well. The cross traffic alert makes a loud enough noise to make you alert to any sort of person or vehicle that comes in the way. It works remarkably well. That is a long-winded way of me saying that I highly recommend this system. But what it is not is a autopilot, full self-driving, Blue Cruise, or Super Cruise replacement. This Maverick does not drive itself. You'll notice very quickly the limitations of this system and how it buckles in hard cornering, or how coming out of a corner, it bobs and weaves in the lane accordingly. So that is the full review of the Ford Copilot 360 system as it pertains to the Lariat luxury package. If you guys enjoyed this video, do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth reviews on your favorite cars. I am Thanasi. We'll see you next time.